Hi, I'm Christine Mahoney, and welcome to this edition of Debt Happens. Today I'm talking to Steve Craig, the owner and managing attorney of Trident Debt Solutions. Steve, thanks for having a conversation with me today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Steve, tell me a little bit about what you do at Trident Debt Solutions.
I'm an attorney who helps people get out of debt. At Trident Debt Solutions, we offer an alternative to bankruptcy for people in serious credit card debt. What we do is we negotiate with banks on our clients' behalf to get them out of credit card debt or unsecured lines of credit for about 50 to 60 cents on the dollar.
Wow, so are your fees in addition to that?
No, that figure includes our fees.
So we're not talking bankruptcy here, are we?
No, I am a practicing bankruptcy attorney, but Trident Debt Solutions is set up as an alternative to bankruptcy. We are here for that person that is in serious credit card debt, but that does not feel that bankruptcy is an appropriate option or is dead set against filing bankruptcy.
So sometimes when people are struggling with debt, they might feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. At Trident Debt Solutions, how can you help them see that there is?
We offer the fastest and least costly way out of debt other than filing bankruptcy. When I think of light at the end of the tunnel, I'm looking at a plan that gets someone out of debt in 2 years or less, and that's what we do.
And what does your typical client look like?
Christine, there are 3 common traits. First, they have unsecured credit card debt or other unsecured lines of credit exceeding $30,000. I would say our average client has about $70,000 of credit card debt. Secondly, they've had some type of financial hardship, whether that's loss of income, business failure, divorce, or a medical problem. And lastly, they're able to raise 50% of their total credit card debt in 2 years or less.
So how do they raise that money? Do they have to make a lump sum payment all at once, or can they make payments?
Well, some clients do pay in a lump sum. If they do not have a lump sum, then they can raise the money by paying 2 to 3% of their total credit card debt over a period of approximately 18 to 24 months.
So Steve, what's unique about Trident Debt Solutions?
I would have to say it's the personalized level of service we give each client. I think when you come into our office, we're very different from a typical consumer credit counseling company. Whereas many debt management companies have thousands of clients, we typically handle about 70 at a time, so we're really able to give them a high level of attention. We have just a few employees who have been with us for more than 10 years. A good example of that would be Alex Collins. He's our chief negotiator and operations manager. He's been with me from the beginning. I think what our clients like about dealing with us is that they talk with either Alex or I directly on our cell phones. We're easy to get in touch with. They're not going to get a different person every time they call. And so I think they like that.
With that level of really extreme personal attention, what is your success rate like?
We take pride in the fact that in over 10 years, we have not had one client that we did not succeed in getting debt-free.
Wow, that's unusual.
We're fundamentally different from these large companies. I'm not trying to be a large company. We're looking for a very specific type of client. Somebody that has 70, 80,000, maybe upwards of $200,000 or $300,000 of unsecured debt, and they are able to afford raise 50% of that sum over about 2 years. There are not a lot of these people out there, but for those that are, we like to offer them a very high level of service.
And Steve, you're also a practicing bankruptcy attorney, so that has to be a pretty big positive for your clients.
I think it is, Christine. I've represented over 3,000 people in the U.S. bankruptcy court, so the banks are typically used to getting nothing from my clients, and I think that gives my clients a degree of leverage that they might not otherwise have. In addition to that, when you hire an attorney to represent you with respect to your debt, federal law requires that the creditor calls the attorney, so immediately we can stop all creditors from calling. And in general, I think it's nice to have an attorney on your side in any type of situation where you may be battling it out with creditors.
And as an attorney, certainly your capacity to give legal advice must be a huge advantage.
I think you've hit on a major point, Christine, and one that separates us from others. When you call Trident Debt Solutions, you're not going to speak with a salesman. You're not going to speak with a customer service rep. You're going to speak directly with me. And I can advise my clients on whether a bankruptcy may be more appropriate or discuss other options. I can discuss tax implications with them and some of the other more esoteric debt relief issues.
Have any of your clients ever been sued?
From time to time, yes, it does happen. However, I can tell you that none of my clients has ever seen the inside of a courtroom. So if they are sued, we will reach out to the attorney, we serve them with a summons, and we will settle that debt just like we would have if the debt was with the original creditor.
How can you minimize the risk of a lawsuit happening?
Well, it doesn't usually come to that for a couple of reasons. First, before any lawyer would serve you with a summons, they're going to write you a letter first. And of course, we ask all our clients to keep us, to forward any mail they get regarding any debt. So we reach out to that lawyer and we'll settle that debt just like we would have if it was with the original creditor. But the other thing that we do that I think is different from most companies is we limit our planned time to 2 years or less. And if we do that, for the vast majority of our clients, they will not be served with a summons. When we go to work for a client, Christine, we put a great deal of effort into prioritizing how the debts are settled. The very first thing that I'm going to consider is not how high an interest rate a given debt is, but the first thing I'm going to look at is how quickly is any given creditor likely to sue you? How quickly does their collections process work? If I know that one creditor might file a lawsuit in 7 months and another, it may take them 2 years, then I'm going to attack that first debt, the 7-month debt first, to get that problem out of the way early. The other thing we consider, Christine, is that we like to get the biggest debts handled first. We want to solve the majority of our client's problem early on. And thirdly, of course, we'll consider what the settlement rate is. We'll start all of our negotiations with what we call a reverse auction. So when I say reverse auction, what I mean is this. We start negotiating on behalf of our clients by contacting all of their creditors and saying, we have a limited pot of money. It's not enough to pay everyone here. Whoever of you gives us the best settlement rate, we are likely to settle with that person first. So we bid them against one another, put a little pressure on them early, and we'll take that into account. And of course, if we get some great rate from some bank, we may just take that. And all in all, that's part of the experience, and that's part of what we bring to the table in terms of being able to guide a given client from start to finish.
And I also saw that Trident Debt Solutions has won the Gold Star Award from the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, we're very proud of that. In over 10 years that the BBB has been following us, we've never had a single client complaint.
And I understand the Better Business Bureau is pretty tough on your industry.
Well, they are, and that's what they're there for, really, to protect consumers. For years, the debt settlement industry was totally unregulated, and there were a great number of fraudulent companies out there, and frankly, many downright criminals waiting to take people's money. So I'm glad they're there, and I think they do a very good job.
So they took a pretty hard look at your business.
Well, they did, yes. The first thing they did is referred us to the Attorney General, and we were vetted by the Attorney General's office. Secondly, they asked for phone numbers of every one of our clients, current and past. And thirdly, I was personally interviewed by a 14-member board of directors of the Better Business Bureau.
All right, well, one last question, Steve. Does Trident Debt Solutions have any type of a guarantee?
We do, absolutely. Our guarantee is that on any given debt, if we cannot save you at least 30%, there is no charge on that debt.
All right, well, thank you very much, Steve Craig, managing attorney and founder of Trident Debt Solutions. And that's going to do it for this edition of Debt Happens. I'm Christine Mahoney. Thanks for watching.